So welcome to the podcast. So you both have something pretty big happening in y'all's life right now, right?
We do.
So what is that?
I am.
This podcast is brought to you by Vote Anson Amos for JP. Early voting opens back up Tuesday.
Running for Justice of the Peace.
Awesome.
Yes.
And what's in your world?
And super excited to announce that I have a special little business that we are about to open up soon.
And that's like fresh.
So fresh. Like no one knows.
No
about
one
it
knows.
yet.
Like some people are finding out right now.
They're live. It's here. It's happening.
It's
right
happening.
Now.
All right, welcome, Keri and Anson Amos. I'm so glad that you guys are here for the podcast.
But thanks for having us.
Thank you. Super excited.
Awesome. So let's jump into y'all's story. Let's start with where you guys were born.
Okay. So born and raised here, Paris, Texas.
Parisian.
Love my town.
Anson.
Same.
Same.
Born and raised here.
Awesome. What school? Did y'all go to the same school?
Yes, Paris.
Paris.
But can I please add that I'm quite a bit younger than Anson, so I graduated in 2003, where Anson graduated
1997.
in. Sorry.
Wow.
Like to add that little plug.
Yes.
So y'all didn't meet in high school? Like y'all didn't meet because y'all are too far apart?
No.
No?
I would be probably in elementary school at that time.
Probably so.
Okay, so Anson, when you were in school, like what did you grow up doing?
Man, I played some sports. In high school, I ended up just playing. I was on the golf team.
You still play golf?
Occasionally, not much.
Not much.
Kind of got burnt out through all the high school years of that. But after that, or other than that, I should say, for hanging out with friends and just doing all the things that you usually do in high school.
Awesome. So there were no like main sports or even like so golf. Was there like debate or anything like that?
No, it wasn't. No.
No.
I wasn't a very interesting person in high school, I guess, but yeah, I'm gonna have to leave it at that.
Kind of leave it at that. Okay. Keri, what did you do?
I loved soccer.
Okay.
I cheered. I ran cross country and track. So
Cross country kid.
Yes. Love to run. I think that's where like I picked up like my passion for running was back then. And then
I never liked it, but I was good at it. I don't know.
You didn't like it?
natural.
I never liked it. I mean, I've done an Ironman. I've done.
What?
Yeah, not anytime recently, but
That's insane.
I've done a lot of running in my life, but I never. It's like one of those things I have to drag myself to do it, and then when I'm doing it, I love it. And when I'm done, I was like, yeah, that was really good. I enjoyed that, but actually I have to make myself do it.
I'm sure we all get like that. For sure we do. I love doing it. I thought it was a great way to no offense to my teachers at the time, but get out of school and hang out with your friends and compete. I'm a very competitive person, and I thought it was a great opportunity to be with your friends, miss a little school, and have fun at the same time. And of course, bring that win home too.
Awesome. So, Anson, when you were in school, what did you think you were going to do when you graduated?
You know, I really didn't know. I did go to a little bit of college, but quickly found out that was not my cup of tea. So
I did the same thing.
I always had an interest in law enforcement.
Okay.
I actually had made some friends during high school, police officers here in Paris, and I started doing a ride-along program with those guys. And
that's awesome.
Yeah. So
did you have any family that were in law enforcement?
Zero family.
So when you did it, what's a ride along? What's that look like?
You get to ride in the front seat of a patrol car on a shift, and I usually chose the night shift through the morning hours. And some of the guys that I used to ride with, they like to get involved and like get active out there on the streets. And I saw a lot of stuff that.
So they didn't hold back with you there?
No, not at all. And I got to experience not only just the aspect of a patrol officer, but them going on search warrants, and that's when it kind of opened up my eyes to this is what I want to do.
That's awesome.
Yes.
Do you remember anybody's name that you went on a ride along with?
Oh yes, Jeff Ackard.
Okay.
He's at North Lamar now.
Yeah.
Jimmy Walmick. Those were the two main ones that I rode.
Stood out to you?
Yep.
Yeah. Awesome, dude. That's exciting. I've never experienced anything like that. Was there a night that stood out to you? Like,
yeah, it was one day
or can you say?
Yes, we got into, or he got into a vehicle pursuit, and that was, I don't even know if they were supposed to do that.
Right.
I don't know if they were supposed to stop, let me out, or what. But when the bad guy finally stopped, he jumped out and bailed on foot.
Okay.
But where he stopped at was at a house where a visitation was going on for a funeral, or someone had passed away.
Oh no.
And that guy was actually going there. Well, when they realized that their relative was not in the car and had taken off running, they thought I was a police officer, and they were beating on the windows, telling me to call my supervisor. Well, they had no idea that I wasn't a cop.
A real cop, yeah.
And
at the time.
So it stuck out because they surrounded the car, and the officer I was with, he's gone. So I'm locking the doors. Yes. It was an awkward situation, to say the least, but I had no control over nothing. But thank goodness other officers arrived there shortly to.
But even with that, you're like, this is it. I want to do something like this.
I still wanted it, yeah.
Yeah.
You're hungry for it.
I don't know if hungry's a word, but I like the whole action part of it.
Yeah.
It's always been fun.
Keri, what did you think you were going to do when you, like when you were first, I really want to do this?
Man, I don't even, gosh, I still am trying to figure out what I do when I grow up.
I'm going to be honest, I ask this question all the time, but I didn't figure out what I wanted to do till way later in life.
100%. I would say for a couple of years I was a coach for at a gym locally, actually
Yeah.
2 different gyms here in town for cheerleading. So I love coaching and helping those folks like learn how to tumble and stunt and achieve their goals, whether it be competing or making high school cheerleader, junior high cheerleader. So that was cool to be a part of that. So that was always intrigued. I think people. So I knew anything that I did in life was going to have to be around people because I love people. I love to talk. I love to hear people's stories. He just nodded yes because he knows I love to talk. It's true. I love people, so I knew that it had to be around folks, people. So I didn't really have anything specific like I know this is what I want to be when I grow up.
You just know you wanted to be around people and love on people.
Absolutely.
I like that. Kimmy, my wife, actually, she was cheer captain in a small town in Colorado, and then she actually did some coaching when we first moved here for little kids too, so she enjoys that kind of stuff a lot.
I love that. It's fun.
So, it is.
They're so hungry to learn, and they're limber as can be, and they want to be the greatest that they can be, so it's cool to be a part of that.
That's
Absolutely.
awesome. Kimmy is obsessed with, I know it's off topic, but Kimmy is obsessed with those cheer shows.
Absolutely.
She just watched, there's a new one that just came out.
Absolutely. Season 2 of Cheer.
Yes.
I love it.
She was all into it.
Yes.
I think she binge watched, because it like dropped all at once, didn't it? She like binge watched the whole thing.
Yeah, one day and all 10 episodes are gone.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Same. I'm guilty.
Okay, so you did that for a little while. When did you kind of say, okay, this is my next step? This is what I want to do.
So I did that. I was going to school at Paris Junior College.
Okay.
I cheered while I was there for a few years. So that kind of fed that, cheerleading role still. And then I was helping, kind of mentor and coach too at the local gyms. I got an opportunity, started going to school at Texas A&M Commerce.
Okay.
And got an opportunity to work for Lamar County Human Resources Meals on Wheels.
Awesome. Love those guys.
Absolutely. They're phenomenal. And I owe them so much because I felt like that was my first big girl job.
Okay.
And really got to have some really beautiful, humbling experiences because that agency, helps so many. Different ages, across the board. It helps so many people in our community. So it was great to be a part of that. And I actually had the opportunity to kind of help with their fundraising and their big community event they host each year, which was called Mardi Gras. So that was fun to be a part of that and learn from Tanita and work with local folks in the community, different businesses, and how to get them to come and be a part of this great event and donate, and all those proceeds went back to that nonprofit to help them to provide meals, transportation throughout the year. So I really give where I'm at today credit to Tanita and Meals on Wheels for taking that chance on someone that really didn't have a degree yet and didn't have experience in that realm, but gave me a chance. And that's where I really fell in love with working with people that needed help and needed that second chance, and really making me a better human by learning what they're going through and getting them plugged into those resources. So it made me a better person.
That's awesome.
Wholeheartedly.
What a great story.
I owe a lot to them. For sure.
Liam, my oldest son, did some I'm saying a lot again. Liam did a bunch of videos on places from around town, and he did one on the Meals on Wheels process of how it works and stuff like that, and it was a really cool video. So.
It really is cool. I'm telling you, for someone's first, I feel like I said, big girl job, it was a really cool, humbling experience to learn about different people, different phases in their lives, and how we all have these opportunities where we can give back and help, and where all those good time and money goes into, and how it can make a huge impact on someone's life and change for the better. So I feel like my journey, my job starts there for sure.
Awesome. It's a great plug for Meals on Wheels. If you guys have any questions, go check out Meals on Wheels. They're a great place to volunteer at. Great group of people. Go check them out.
Absolutely.
Don't want to miss that. Awesome. Okay, switching it back over to you.
I don't know if I can compare to that answer.
No, that was a pretty good one. So you came out, you graduated from high school, and you knew you wanted to do something law enforcement. Did you go right into it?
No, I wasn't old enough. So
There's an age?
Yeah, age. So I worked for my dad at the bank at First Federal.
Okay.
For a couple of years.
What's the age? Do you know? What's the age limit?
Well, you can't carry a gun until you're 21.
Okay.
So you can go to the academy and you try to time that, as when you get
Accordingly.
out. Yeah. So that's what I did, and I went to the academy in 1999, October 1999, and I didn't turn 21 until 2000, February. So it kind of worked out. So
When I graduated from high school.
No, from the academy.
I know, that's when I...
Oh, that's when you graduated.
He's younger than
Yes,
you again,
yes.
see?
I'm the old one here. But yeah, so that's what I did up until going to the academy.
Okay, so how long's the academy?
Then it was, oh my gosh, it was 600 and something hours total.
Okay.
So I think it was 4.5 months maybe.
Okay. Is that something you have to go at your own pace, or is there like scheduled classes?
There's different ways you can do it, but I moved to McKinney and just
Knocked it out. Was there any lead up to that or prep that you had to do?
No, you pretty much go there and they teach you what you need to know, and then you learn more of it. Once you get out and learn the street smarts of it. I mean, the book stuff.
There's book smarts and then there's
Yes,
street smarts.
That is very true.
Awesome. Okay, so you did your 4 months ish of academy. Did you come right back to Paris, or did you start somewhere else?
No, I came back here. I was thinking about moving off to apply at some bigger departments. I was at the bank one day, and I was talking to Richard Drake, and he said, "You just need to go down to the Lamar County Sheriff's Office and talk to B.J. McCoy." And him and B.J. were pretty tight, or still are. And he made a phone call, and he said, "Go see B.J." And next thing I know, I'm working in the jail like 2 days later because I wasn't 21 yet, so.
Oh, so you're
I still had.
You're
like
off just a little bit.
I still had like a month.
Okay.
So I got hired there, worked in the jail for a month, and shortly thereafter got moved over when I turned 21 and started working the streets.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So when you started working streets, what was your, like, I don't know what they call it. What was your, not your captain now, right?
Yeah, so I was just a patrol deputy.
Okay.
So you had probably, I don't know, it's 4 to 6 months with a training officer.
Okay.
And then after that, you're cut loose on your own and assigned to a shift and answer your calls. But I did that till 2005. I was on the streets till 2005.
So what was that? 5 years, basically.
5 years, yes.
So okay, Darren, did you know? I don't want you to jump too far ahead, but did you know your path that you wanted to go in as far as your career?
I did. Kind of back to working or riding with those guys at the city when I was young. The whole drug enforcement thing just caught my eye. Yes.
And here's a question I've always wondered: do y'all have to do like extra, like classes or seminars or anything to be kind of in that part of the field?
Well, you have continuing education every 2 years.
That's the word I was looking for.
But to like in a special, some type of special assignment, like there's so many different ones. Let's just take Drug Task Force one, for instance. You do attend lots of training for it as soon as you move to that type of field.
Okay.
I don't remember how long it was. I think the first one was 3 weeks long in Austin, but I still go to them.
Okay.
So
you still have to go to them?
There's always something new.
Always something new. Yeah.
Always something
new
new.
Techniques.
New techniques. The bad guys are always finding new ways to do.
New equipment, new gears.
Yep.
That's awesome. So 5 years in that one. What was your next promotion?
So 2005, I went to the Drug Task Force as a sergeant, and the state was kind of up in the air about funding all these drug task forces throughout the state. And after about a year and a half, I believe, the state decided to dismantle all drug task force in the state of Texas.
Interesting.
Yes, and so everybody had to go back to their home agencies. And the task forces at that time was made up of Lamar County, Paris PD, Hopkins County, Sulphur Springs PD, Mount Pleasant, and I believe Titus County.
So that was all one task force?
It was all, yeah, we were all officed at a building in Honey Grove.
Okay.
Not Honey Grove. Where did I get that? Cooper. The other direction.
The other direction.
And we all housed in a big warehouse building there, and we had, lots of officers there, lots of vehicles you could pick from, to all the equipment, to
And they just dismantled all of that.
gone.
So who took that workload? Like each home department had to take on that workload?
They did, and
Did they have systems for that?
no. So we just kind of, when we all went back to, in fact, I had to go to our sheriff at the time, BJ, and said, hey, you don't have a spot for me as a sergeant because it was funded by the state. And I said, I hope you can create one. And he would have never let me go, but
Right.
I would have had to go back to the streets. But he actually went to Commissioner's Court and got a position for that, so we could continue working in Lamar County.
But it was the same. It was basically the same job. Just
Same job, you just didn't have all those resources
Okay.
on hand. I mean, you had them, but you just didn't have them there at your office because you had state guys there. You had, the state money, the funding of equipment and all that. We didn't get any of that.
so sorry, I'm asking a lot of questions.
No, you're
But
fine.
so did the drug problem in Texas just lower to the point that they didn't want to fund it anymore, or?
Well, they said that it was due to they were going to increase border protection.
Okay.
There was some bad stuff going on at one of the task force down south, and they had gotten caught doing some things they weren't supposed to be doing.
Mm-hmm.
So that kind of put, I guess, a bad taste in their mouth, and the task forces started becoming a place to, this is at the very end of my era with the task force, they would send out the guys that they didn't want in their department, so they could push them away out there and not be seen or heard from, and that problem was gone, and versus letting them go.
Oh, okay.
So that also had something to do with
Messed
it as
up
well.
some things.
Yeah.
Interesting. All right, we'll be back.
Yeah.
So you were at Meals on Wheels. What happened next?
So, over the years of helping with this fundraiser, I got to work alongside different businesses in the community. And one in particular was a home health company named Jordan Health Services. And so this gentleman that was kind of over the, I guess, the account executives, which are the folks that go out in the field and cultivate these relationships with hospitals and physicians and educate them on why this home health is the home health of choice for their patients when they need services. So his name was Tim Walsworth. And
I like me some Tim.
Absolutely. Such a phenomenal guy. So Tim reached out to me and said, hey, this job's coming available. They do not come open very often, which is so true. And I'd love for you to apply for it.
So it's taking some of the stuff you've already learned at Meals on Wheels and just applying it into a different business.
Absolutely. Communication.
Yeah.
I learned how to communicate with folks, different people, different backgrounds, and so it definitely prepared me for this first healthcare experience. I would say I was a little bit of a disadvantage because I wasn't clinical, and again, first, job in healthcare. So there's a lot to learn about Medicare and Medicaid and what, therapies the home health provides and, nursing visits that the home health provides. So there was a lot of, to be learned. But they saw something in me and gave me the opportunity to come and be their account executive for kind of the Paris and surrounding communities. So that was an awesome opportunity, again, to meet folks from the hospital here locally to all these, individual, either employed or independent clinics here in Paris and the surrounding areas, and, cultivate strong relationships with the physicians, the providers, and all the staff there. And to, bottom line, get those patients to definitive care when they're sick and they need to have some extra care from a therapist or from a nurse, but they're still healthy enough to be at home. So it was a really cool opportunity to kind of get that first jump in my healthcare career.
How long were you there for?
I was with Jordan's, I would say collectively 8 years. Jordan's purchased a small company named Cooper Home Health.
Okay.
So the last 2 years of that 8-year stint was with Cooper Home Health, but it was underneath the same umbrella. So a total of 8 years.
Awesome. Yeah. Okay, I need your help.
Absolutely.
When we get to a love story point in time,
Okay.
you need to let me know. I don't want to jump ahead, but when it comes in, I want you to just slide it on in there, okay?
Okay.
Deal?
Okay.
So
Deal.
we're going to jump back over to him.
Okay.
Okay, so how many years were you in that? Tell me what it was again. The drug.
Like at the task force.
The task force. Well, that post task force. Well, what do they call it when you
go back to your home agencies?
Yeah.
You just, a detective assigned to narcotic investigation.
Okay.
I should say.
They didn't have a fancy name for it.
No fancy name. we all work together still. Like I said, you just didn't have that big group of guys.
Big group of guys.
Every day meeting at one location.
Now that's still kind of what you currently do, right?
It is.
So did you raised up in the ranks there, or have you been doing that same thing for a long time?
It's kind of hard to say. So once Scott Cass became sheriff, he changed the ranking structure of the department.
Okay.
So sergeants went to lieutenants. So then I was a lieutenant, just working narcotic crimes. The last 3.5 years, I was promoted to captain over all of the detectives in the department.
Gotcha.
So,
That's
but
cool.
but still working these
Drug cases.
Yes.
Awesome. Okay, we're close on you, so we're gonna jump back to her.
Well, if we're gonna get into the love story,
Let's do it.
What's the love story?
well, excuse you, come on. Well, we met like way back into the Meals on Wheels days, so
Really?
we really need to
So
back this
we
up.
passed it. I didn't.
Yeah.
I should have told you earlier.
Because we met in 2003. So,
Okay.
yeah. So that was when I was.
How
a
did y'all
freshman.
meet?
How did we meet, Anson?
Oh.
It was through a mutual friend.
So y'all got hooked up?
It wasn't meant to be like that, a hookup. It was just more of just getting together, and we ended up,
He's not doing a good job, is he?
no, I'm not.
Get that boy a shovel.
What's
we
funny-
end up going back roading, and I don't know. Here we are today. So I don't know.
I feel like Keri could tell this one a lot
Oh
better.
yeah, she can.
No, he's doing a beautiful job of it. Absolutely.
What part am I leaving out?
No, you're doing a great job.
So friends invited y'all separately out to go out together.
Well, I think the story happened if we like bring it back to I was at PJC and I was cheering and we had gone to see.
Go ahead.
Go ahead. We had gone to my team, PJC. We were cheering somewhere and we came back and good friends of mine were a class below me, so they were seniors in high school. So
Okay.
it was Paris High School's homecoming parade downtown. Don't you remember this?
I do.
Okay, so you just left it out. And so I was actually downtown cheering on some of my friends that were in the parade as homecoming nominees, and he was
In the parade.
in the parade.
But I was riding in a friend's car that was used as homecoming king.
Yeah, someone was sitting up behind
There
you,
you go, yes.
waving to people.
Yes.
Gotcha.
And
You weren't the one doing the waving.
no, I was not. I was
No,
riding.
because he's older than me, so he would not have been in that parade.
Yes. So I guess I need to tell the story from here.
Yeah.
I mean, if we're supposed to tell the story,
You tell it. I saw this girl on the square waving at people and watching the parade, and she was in. Weren't you in that uniform? You're in a cheerleading uniform, and I just remember asking the friend that was driving. I said, "Who's that? Who's that girl in the cheerleading uniform?" And that kind of stuck in the back of my mind, and then the whole meeting up with friends thing. I'm not going to say
it was on purpose.
it was on purpose, but it was, yes, it was done. It was on purpose.
It was on purpose. So you asked a friend, and then that friend
Got them out.
got
her,
y'all together.
her friend out there.
Yeah. Okay.
And
Okay.
that's it. That's the part I left out.
Good
So-
times.
That's amazing.
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 No, it's a good love story. So y'all started dating after that?
We did.
That's awesome.
Yeah, not too long after that, and
Did she do most of the talking then too?
Oh yes. Yes. Yes.
it's God given talent. What can I say?
She does not have a problem.
I feel like we're paired with people that like blend us. So you have someone is more outgoing, not necessarily more talkative, but more outgoing. Then you have someone who's a little more reserved, and then they make the great match.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I'll agree
Someone's
with you.
got to get him to talk.
I feel like he talks enough lately. I've seen we do some videos with you, and you've talked.
It was hard though.
It was hard though.
But you've come out of your shell. It's been cool to see you kind of blossom and grow over these past couple of months.
Still trying.
You got this.
Yeah, absolutely.
Awesome. Okay, good love story. Okay, we got to catch you up to closer to now.
Yeah.
So where did you go after? You're not at Jordan. No, you're at Jordan, right?
Mm-hmm.
Where'd you go after Jordan?
I got the opportunity to work at Parrish Regional Medical Center.
Awesome.
Where I'm at today.
Yay.
Yes. So this was an absolutely awesome opportunity. Once again, definitely been blessed with 3 phenomenal places. This one was the job came available, and I, put my application in and thought, I don't come with hospital experience.
Mm-hmm.
Again, I'm not clinical, so there's some disadvantages there. However, I can communicate, I can talk, and I have, 8 years of, very successful, excellent relationships that I've cultivated with the hospital, with these physicians in this area and these providers. And so, I feel like that would be an awesome opportunity to do this. So I applied for the position and started out as business development and worked solely with industry. So that was kind of a unique concept where I worked with the CEO, the director of marketing at the time, and the other business development director that worked solely with physicians, hospitals, and EMS. And so we would bring, education about blood pressure, maybe education on, kidney stones. It was all about preventative wellness. And then if they needed, a primary care provider, we offered them a list of every physician provider, employed, independent, in the area that they wanted, and was able to help be that connector. So it was really cool to work with, everyday folks that needed just a doctor when they had, when they were sick, or maybe they having issues, with their blood pressure and need to know, what resources are there. So it was really cool to kind of be instrumental with these folks that work super hard, that may not have made time for themselves, that I was able to help get them connected with a primary care provider, a specialist. Maybe it comes for women's health for their mammogram. So it was really cool to have about 2 years, well, no, not 2 years, right out of a year, experience of just working with industry. Again, totally something that I was not accustomed to.
Right.
But
Big learning curve.
Yeah, absolutely. Another opportunity to learn and get better at that. But again, it all falls back on communication and being able to speak with people. And your willingness to learn.
Yeah.
That led me to an opportunity in, so just a year later in 2017, the business development director, her name was Tracy Scudder. She was absolutely phenomenal in her role. She was like the OG, the one that created this position at Parrish Regional, moved to be closer to her sweet babies at Texas A&M, and our CEO now, Steve Hyde, took a chance on me and allowed me to roll into that position and solely work with all of the physicians, providers, urgent cares, freestanding ERs, hospitals, and EMS, kind of in a very large service area, southeastern Oklahoma, and a nice portion northeast Texas. And that brings me to kind of today. Absolutely love my job. I love these clinics, and I love these hospitals and EMS providers that I get to work with each day. When they hurt, I hurt. When they have barriers or issues, I love that they feel comfortable enough to reach out to me, and then I get those back to my CEO as well as the respective directors to look at, hey, where can we improve on? Where did the barrier break down, and how can we fix it moving forward? So a very unique position. But I feel super honored to be in this role, to kind of be that bridge, that connector from the folks out in the field back into our facility.
That's
so
awesome.
It's a cool part to play,
awesome.
absolutely.
So, and you get to work really close with our girl Savannah Abbott.
Love me some Savannah Abbott, absolutely. Yes, I work with her each day. She's phenomenal, and she's a huge asset to our facility. She provides me support when it comes to onboarding our physicians, communicating out with our clinics, EMS, our hospitals. She has a beautiful way with words and people, and so there's things that she does that I take note and try to kind of make changes and tweaks in the things that I do to kind of mimic the things that she does. So she's a great role model.
Well, she's actually going to be on the podcast here soon.
Woohoo! Tune
Yeah.
in.
Yeah.
For my girl.
Yeah. Okay, so we're kind of caught up, and y'all both we're not missing anything, right?
Well, I would love to add that I also got an opportunity in 2020 to work with LifePoint, which is our parent company.
Okay.
So I hold a dual role for Paris Regional, and not a lot of people know that.
I didn't know that.
It's another phenomenal opportunity that Steve had, my CEO, or our CEO at Paris Regional, and my corporate boss with LifePoint named Michelle Scott approached me, and so I work for Paris Regional, but I also, a portion of me works for a parent company, and I have the pleasure, let me say this, of mentoring new colleagues that join what they call us our growth and outreach, our business development, that join, the 89 hospitals that are around the nation for LifePoint.
That's awesome.
So I get to kind of help them get acclimated to the role and cheer them on when they do great things, and then if they have questions or maybe they need to be re-guided, I get to be part of that. So it's been really cool to have that role. So it's called Regional Director of LifePoint Growth and Outreach, but it's a cool piece that I get to kind of help mentor and guide, and then I've held that role for 2 years now, so it's neat to see these folks that I started with just a few years ago grow and blossom and succeed. And when they win, I feel like, so I get to cheer them on. So that's been a really cool part that my CEO allowed me to be a part of.
I feel like you're perfect for that.
I love it. It's fun.
I really do. Okay, so we're caught up. We touched on this in the beginning, but you've got really big things happening in your life right now. Both of you actually have really big things happening in your life right now. So let's touch base on that a little bit. So, Anson, what's going on, man?
Tell us.
Well, I signed up to run for the rest of the piece. Gene Hobbs, who's the current JP, is retiring, and I thought it was a great opportunity to continue my role and service with Lamar County.
Now, we've chatted a couple times. We've talked, you actually had thought of this earlier in your career about this being a direction that you wanted to go in, right?
It was. You being young and at your job, and you see kind of how people progress in in Lamar County. I always thought that might be a something I might consider as I got older, but then as I did get older, I'm not 21 anymore. I'm not in the best shape like I used to be, and so you kind of look for other ways to continue in the place you work. And more and more I thought about it the first of of last year. I thought that I should put my name in the hat. So.
And you didn't know a timeline, because it's probably hard in your world because you don't know when someone's going to retire. You don't know when the position's going to come available. You just like, if I ever get the opportunity, I might go after something like this would be something I would enjoy. Does it work like that?
That's correct. It was a hard decision to run for it, because if I were to win, leaving where I'm at today, it won't be easy. I mean, it's something that I still love to this day.
How long have you been in the role that you're in right now?
For the sheriff's office?
Yeah.
I've been there 22 years total. So it's a long time.
So if you win, you'll be in a different office. You'll be around different people. It'll completely uproot you out of what you've been doing for 22 years.
Yes, everything will change. Everything. And, there's a lot of good people down there at that office, and it's almost like a family, and a second family.
Yeah,
and
it has to be.
And a lot of those people have been there for a while.
Yeah.
So I've worked, around them for 22 years, so it will be.
Will you still be able to like be kind of a part of what's going on there with your if you get the new role?
Yes.
I'm not looking at me acting like he already got it.
No, you still have. I'll still see some of those guys, and Justice of the Peace still has to interact with law enforcement on certain issues. So.
Yeah.
And plus, if I were to win, I'd be office at the courthouse. So the officers are in and out of that place all the time. So.
And it's a small town.
It's a small town.
Yeah, I mean, you'll see them at Walmart.
I hope I'll still be welcome down there.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Well, that's amazing. I'm excited for you.
I'm excited. We're excited.
Yeah.
Absolutely. It's been cool to see him. I know that this is something that's been on his mind and his heart for quite some time, and it's cool to see him really, put himself out there and be committed and giving it, 150%. His entire family and huge amount of friends have rallied behind him, and it's been cool to.
Yeah.
Sorry, it makes me emotional. I knew I was going to cry. To see him really just blossom, and he wants to be in this role and to serve his community, and I think it's really cool to see him step up and give it his whole heart. It's been neat to be a part of that.
Awesome. Okay, so if they wanted to go and vote for you, how does that work?
So early voting starts.
I think it's already started by the time this publishes.
Oh yes. The annex, Lamar County, right across diagonal from the First Methodist Church, or at your polling location on March the 1st.
Okay, March the 1st. And then when's it end?
March 1st.
March 1st. It ends March 1st, and it's already started.
That will be the last day to vote.
Last day of the vote. So don't miss it.
Don't miss it, please.
We're grateful for your support.
Yes.
Check Anson Amos.
There you go.
All right, Keri, you got some big news too, because there wasn't enough big things happening. You're like,
let's just keep this party train going, right? Yes. So once again, this was a huge blessing. A dear friend of mine put her business up for sale, and I reached out to her and said I would love to learn more about this business. So send me the information. And it all was a beautiful blessing and worked out. And so we are now proud owners of Yard Cards of Paris.
Yes.
So super excited about being, here in the community and just being a part of everybody's celebrations, whether it be a birthday or bringing a baby home or, giving someone, lifting their spirits by saying, getting well. Sorry, I can't even talk.
It's okay.
Wishing them well, hope they get to feeling better. Maybe their loved ones coming back from, overseas because they've, serve for our great nation, and we're giving back to our heroes. So it's going to be cool to do something a little bit different than what I've known over these past few years with healthcare, but just continue to work with the community and bring a little bit of joy and being a little bit of a part of their celebration. So super excited about that.
So just in case they don't know what we mean by yard cards, explain kind of what that looks like.
Absolutely. So it is, I would personally come out, we would decorate your yard with specific phrases that you felt meet the needs. So if it's a birthday, it would say, "Happy birthday, Keri," and we'd say 21, stuff like that. And all the things that Keri loves, we would put in the yard, whether it be a purse or coffee or Chick-fil-A or her favorite colors are black and gold, whatever it is, we can make that happen. If you have a loved one, especially over these past few years, so many people that are sick, and it prevents us from actually physically being in front of someone. So if we can, get well soon, if we can place that and flip that around where they can see it out of their bedroom window or their living room window, and put a little smile on their face while they're going through some hard times, that's what it's all about.
I love, because you and I were talking about this the other day, and you were describing it a lot like obviously from yard cards, a lot like a greeting card. Like so, and what I loved what you said that day was like you want that emotion and that joy that you get when you open a greeting card you want people to get that when they open their front door and they see their yard, and you're like, oh, like that just overwhelming joy of getting a gift like that.
Absolutely. It's so thoughtful. Remember the days with Hallmark where you would go to the store and you pick out cards for whatever the special occasion was? Exactly it. They open their door like they're opening the card and they see this message, and it's a surprise to them. And I think if we can just bring a little ounce of like happiness into this world, we're all better off.
We need as much as we can get.
Absolutely. So this is an honor and privilege again to help bring that to this community and surrounding areas. So excited.
That's amazing. Okay, I thought of a story. So when y'all were talking about you seeing her in the parade, I have a parade story. So since you've been running, you were in the parade the other day, and it was amazing because you got a bus and y'all were standing on top of a bus coming downtown, and we were out in front of our studio, and you guys were so high that y'all had to duck down to get underneath the street lights.
I actually got hit by one of the wires going across the street.
No way.
Yes, and then I almost got hit at the very end, but someone down in the crowd yelled, "Duck." As I looked up, I mean, if I hadn't ducked, it would have hit me about neck high.
And I was going to say, being a fellow bald guy, your head's like a target. Every time you hit something, it's always like it hits the head.
Yes, there's no cushion
There's no cushion there.
Well, we had a blast doing that parade.
It was so much fun.
It looked like a lot of fun.
I loved it. Our kiddos loved it, and we had our dear best friends and their kiddos a part of it as well. So it was awesome. It was a fun event.
It was amazing. Sorry, I had thought of that story
It was a good
earlier,
story.
and I was like, I don't want to forget to say it, but I want to bring it up right now. Awesome. Well, thank you guys so much for being on my podcast.
You bet. Thanks for having us.
We're very grateful.
It wasn't that hard, was it?
No, this was fun.
It was a lot of fun. I enjoyed it. All right. Thank you guys for joining in. We will see you guys next week. Bye.